Floriculture includes the cultivation of flowers and ornamental plants for direct sale or for the use in raw materials in perfume and cosmetics shop. Welcome to the Ghanaian Farmer. My name is Enyunam, and today we are focusing on introduction to flower farming. This program is proudly sponsored by Rwanda, Lizzie and Leaf Tomato Mix. Coming up is an introduction to flower farming. I'll be right back after that. The purpose of land preparation is to provide the necessary soil conditions which will enhance the successful establishment of the young offshoots. Floriculture, or flower farming, is a branch of horticulture concerned with the cultivation of flowering and ornamental plants for garden and for forestry, comprising the floral industry. The development of new varieties by plant breeding is a major occupation of floriculturists. Thanks for staying. If you're just tuning in, you're watching the Ghanaian Farmer African Tour, and next to me is Freddie. He is the production supervisor here in Bella Farms. Thanks for joining us, Freddie. What do we mean by flower farming?
We're referring to the rose production.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so what do we do after you have bought your land or you have access to your land?
What can come in our mind first is the land preparation, the land, of course, where we're going to cultivate, to grow our roses.
What kind of land is recommended for flower farming?
Yeah, the best type of soil recommended for rose cultivation is the loam clay soil. It's very suitable for the growing of roses because it is having a high capacity of holding water.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So after I have access to the land, if there are already crops on it or it's a virgin land, what am I expected to do?
Yes, there are a few steps we can do. First of all, I will go for the weed removal.
Okay.
Second, I will go for the pre-irrigation to make the soil more soft. Then I will go for the tilling. After the hollowing, the flooding, then after I will go for the leveling. Yes.
Then you go for the leveling.
Leveling. Then after the leveling, as now we are growing on the beds, I make now the beds I can see even here.
Okay.
Yes, we are not growing on a flat land.
Flat land.
Yeah, we are growing on beds because we are seeing we want the roots to grow much deeper and aerate.
Okay. How many beds on average can I have on 1 acre land?
On acre land, I can have 150 beds.
150.
Yes, counting one by one.
Okay.
150 beds per 1 hectare.
Okay. What is the length of the beds I make?
Yeah, yeah. Who can say the bed that you can see here? The bed are long. I have a distance of 50 meters. Yes. Then the spacing when I'm growing, I will go for 15 to 17 centimeter. The spacing between the seedlings.
Between the beds?
No, it is 50 centimeter.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Why do we have to raise the bed to this level?
We are raising this height of 50 centimeter because we want the roots to go deeper in the soil, then to extend so that they can uptake the nutrients, the microelements in the soil. That's why you are elevating the bed up to 50 centimeter over height.
Right.
Yes.
The moment I entered here, I realized that there's a gentleman who keep watering the land.
Yes.
Why is that continuous water on the land?
Yeah, I've seen it. The guy busy watering. Before we make the bed, we inherit the soil with the compost and the manure. Now the compost and the manure, we add more water because we want water to sink in the soil. Then after that's why the guy is busy watering so that tomorrow we come and make the beds with a soft land.
Okay.
Yes.
So when are we expecting to introduce the flower into the beds?
After the bed is ready, we come for a last step, watering, showering on the beds, because we want it to be compact. Then we come with a tool where we make holes. A hole will be of 10 centimeter, where we can work deep, yes, deep.
Okay.
Where I'm going to put my seedlings, as we have seen the cockpit, then I put the soil, that hole, then I cover well, then you can start watering.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
You mentioned that you add compost. You add fertilizer to the water you are spraying on the bed. Is that correct?
No, no, we don't add the fertilizer we are using. It's manure,
Okay.
manure and compost at the
Okay.
same time.
Okay.
But after we have planted, we install the drip line system.
Okay.
Well, after before we go for the fertilizer, we go for we plain water because the roots are very young.
Okay.
They can uptake directly the fertilizer. Plain water for 3 days. Then after 3 days, we go for the fertilizer through the drip irrigation. Yes, we are going to install them on the beds.
Okay.
Yes.
Do flower farm need a lot of water?
Yes, it is a lot of water. That's why this bella flower is close to Muhazi. This is the lake close to us because it's a source of water.
Okay.
The salinity is very low. We have measured all the salinity. Then after concluding it is not having the salt within it, then we are using the Muhazi water from
Okay.
the lake that's close to us.
Okay.
Yes.
Is flower farming expensive?
It is expensive, really.
Okay.
We have seen the infrastructures, these metals, these polyethylene sheetings, yeah, all the drip line, the computerized technologies. It's very expensive.
Okay.
Yes.
How much do I need on 1 acre land to put up this greenhouse structure, and of course preparing of my land and probably paying of my labors? How much averagely for a farmer who wants to do 1 acre flower farm?
For 1 hectare, if I go with our infrastructure, everything ready, I will go for 40,000 US dollar.
40,000 US
Yes,
dollar.
yes.
Okay. And is it profitable?
It is profitable, but more profitable with a huge acreage. If you go for small, it is profitable, but not like even like here, Bella Flowers they are having 60 hectare. But it is profitable when you have the markets.
Okay.
Probably when you have international markets. We are marketing. In the we are making profit on local, but international markets gives more than local markets.
I see.
Yes.
Okay. In that case, how many beds are we likely to have in this whole structure? How many hectares of land are we saying?
We are having 1 hectare. This whole greenhouse is 1 hectare,
1 hectare.
Made up of 150 beds. We are having bays, 10 bays.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. What kind of tips would you give to an aspiring, farmer who wants to go into flower farming?
The tips, first of all, it is profitable, as we said. We can fetch much money from the industry. They don't have to be afraid of the cost. They can even look for sponsors, but really the roses are more profitable. They have to not fear and get engaged, make the land as we did, follow all the steps that I've mentioned, then they get started.
Okay.
But they will make sure they have the market. They have talked to international markets before they have started, because it will help them now to have a market orientation.
What type or variety of flower is in high demand?
When growing flowers, we have what we call a market calendar.
Okay.
Market calendar, first of all, we go for Valentine,
Okay.
February of every year. We
Right.
have the demand is very high,
Okay.
especially the reds. Because
Okay.
that's the time for Valentine's,
Yeah,
for
showing
for love or whatever. Then the second date where we have high demand is in May. In May we have Mother's Day. That the demand is very high too. Yeah, even in the festivity in December for Christmas and the New Year we have the demand, but mostly the demand is very high in February, Valentine, and even the Mother's Day. You have UK Mother's Day, you have Germany, it might depend on the countries. You have Mother's Day, profitable, then you go for the festivity, Christmas and the New Year. The demand is very high too, but mostly Valentine.
Okay.
Yes.
What kind of temperature do we need to cultivate flower farming?
It is good between 25 and 35, because Rwanda is the altitude is 1,500 above the sea level. The cool weather, because when we go for rainy season, we may face mostly the disease like fungal diseases. We prefer warm, cool weather for the growing on roses, because when you go for cold weather, you may be facing the fungal diseases
Does
as
it mean
well.
flower cannot do well in an open field?
That's why we're seeing the greenhouses. We have polythene sheets because it is controlling the direct rain for on the roses. We have to protect the roses from strong wind, even the rain. That's why we are having these sheets. It's
Okay.
really preventing even the intensity of the light, if I can say so. Yes.
Okay, so viewers, you're still watching the Ghanaian Farmer African Tour Edition. I am Enyo Nam, and standing next to me is Freddie. He is the production supervisor here in Bella Farms, and he's been telling us about the basics, introduction to flower farming, why the beds are like this, the space in between, and every other thing, the watering, every other thing that you need to know. Of course, you need some calendar to know when it's Mother's Day, when it's Valentine's Day, when it's Christmas, so that you can meet the market demand, and of course your investment will generate some revenue. My name is Anjina, and thanks so much for making time with us. Many thanks to Rwanda Air for sponsoring our tour. If you are planning your trips to Johannesburg, to Dubai, to Doha, to Kigali, you want to go on our website www.rwandair.com and book your affordable and comfortable flight. Many thanks also to Lizzie and Leave Tomato Mix. If you have further questions or clarifications, join us on our social media platform on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, The Ghanaian Farmer. My name is Enyo Nam Manye. But when you meet me in town, just call me Ghana's finest farmer. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.